a low thing. I don't know if it's like, high or low. So we're going to see.
I'm
691.
I'm more proud of the 8 rebounds tonight for Rickea. Sometimes doesn't always put that number up. So
What?
Or Rickea putting up that 8 rebounds.
Really, that not used to me come here.
I mean, Rickea.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
There's no rookies in this room.
No rookies anymore.
It only goes downhill from here.
Never. Oh, wait.
All right, we'll get started with opening statements.
Fun way to end the season. Proud of these guys to keep competing all the way through game 40 when the season hasn't gone exactly like we would like it to have. But they came in and prepared for this one last game and played hard and played confidently. That's our first double-digit win of the season. So really proud of them on how we defended, held them under 30% shooting for the game. Big shout out to Rickea becoming the single season scoring record holder now in Sparks history. Just a tremendous year on and off the court for us. Did so much for us and can't be more proud. Rickea continued to have a big game tonight, scored the basketball well to finish up a tremendous rookie season and really excited about what the future holds for Rickea. And then Keo joining us tonight hit some big threes, especially when we got a little stagnant in that at late moments, hit some really big threes. And from what I was told, didn't have a really good shoot around. So you came back and had
You mean my warm-up?
your warm-up.
Yeah, I missed a lot of shots.
Hey,
Usually that happens though. You missed
a lot of shots, made a lot of shots. So proud of Kia stepping up. Big final game from the arc for us. So really excited. I'm soaking wet. It was a fun locker room after that. Again, it's been a season that has been a lot of fun to coach this team despite some of the results.
All right, we'll get started with questions for players first. We'll start with Alexa.
Hi, all. First of all, thank you for everything this season. It was great to cover you all. Rickea, I was hoping you could just take us through just your initial thoughts now that the season's officially over. What do you think you'll take the most from this experience, both on the court as your growth as a player, but also off of it with your new coaching staff and teammates?
Yeah, I feel like on the court, I'll just, keep growing. I just want to tighten up honestly every aspect of my game. I feel like I've grown a ton within a season. I feel like I really got serious about defense midway through the season. So those are things that I'm just going to continue to sharpen and things like that. And then off the court, just what my teammates and my coaches taught me, just being a sponge this whole year, just the little angles and, the little nuggets that everyone gives me each and every day. It helps a ton. And I'm just going to take that with me forever and just hope it continues to grow me as a player.
Thank you.
Sabrina.
First for Rickea, how many years are you going to let Rickea have this scoring record?
What is the scoring record? Like, what's the number?
I don't actually know what the full number is, but she averaged almost 20 points this year, right?
Sorry.
We'll get back with you on that. But realistically, 1 year, if it's a low thing, I don't know if it's like, high or low. So we're going to see.
I'm more proud of the 8 rebounds tonight for Rickea. Sometimes doesn't always put that number up. So
what?
Or Rickea putting up that 8 rebounds.
Really, that not used to me come here.
I mean, Rickea.
Oh yeah, I can do that. I feel like I can get that.
Okay, and then just quickly for Kia, I know you're not like a super veteran in this league, but like, how have you enjoyed this role this season of getting able to mentor, Rickea and Ray and the younger players on this team?
Yeah, it's been really fun, honestly, getting up there in the years nowadays. So now it's, Rickea tells me I'm old once a day pretty much, but I'm grateful to have the opportunity to work with them, and they're sponges and they do a great job of coming in and learning every single day. But their energy that they bring into the locker room or onto the court, shoot around practice, that's been what's been so impressive to me, is just being up and being positive throughout the whole season. And so I'm grateful to have the opportunity to be a veteran and a real talkative veteran this year, as opposed to my just work by example.
Thanks.
Vanity.
What's up, guys? Mike Kell here. This question is for you, Rickea. I think I found the nickname for you on the show, but for just looking back at your draft night, when you think about your journey this year as a rookie, was it all that you thought it would be? What were like the high points for you, and what were the difficult things that you had to push through with?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know how I thought it would have been, but it was tough, but I feel like the good outweighed the toughness. I had its ups and its downs, but being here with the people, just such good people, it makes things better. It makes things easier. After a loss, we never split up. We always stayed together. And that means a lot because I feel like anyone else probably the locker room would have been divided and we really just stuck together. So that meant a lot. But from draft night to now, it's just like a blink of an eye, and it's just like your season is over. So it's really crazy, but I wouldn't trade my rookie season for anything. Honestly, I feel like the adversity built me into a stronger person. Opposed to if it was just given to me, I feel like I really worked for everything this season, and I'm just gonna continue to grow.
This question is for Kia Nurse. Can you elaborate on just like your overall thoughts on the season, and how was it being a veteran and watching some of your rookies grow?
It honestly was one of the best parts of the season for me, was watching kind of the development of obviously Rickea, Cam, for the short period of time that we had with her. And the season itself, I think Rickea nailed it on the head there. The locker room was great. The girls were great. We got along really well. And it was a growing season, and something that we knew. And as the season went on, I thought there was things that, even though on the outside some of the media might not know, we were working on in practice that we got better at, and we could see that on film going into those next games. That's a big piece of it as well for us too, just individually and as a team collectively. When we focus on something in film, the next day, can we get it right? And there were a lot of times where we did. And so that was something that was really fun moving forward, and a good building block for this to go into a really bright future.
And then my last question is, can you just talk about how Curt was able to bring that energy to as well? Like how did he do as a coach? You know what I mean? Just like I said, keeping the locker room together despite the record. You guys are still having fun. We saw a lot of chemistry with you guys. Like I said, off the court.
Yeah, he's not really like an energetic person at all. Doesn't come into the huddles and yell. Doesn't really get fired up about things. So no, it's all the opposite.
Yeah.
He brings that energy. He's one of those coaches you can talk to. We can go at him a little bit. He goes at us a lot. And that's something that you have to build those connections and build those relationships with coaches, and it doesn't always happen. So I'm grateful for having that with you. And me, I love a fiery coach. So we got along.
Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Hey, yo.
Getting weather here.
All right, we'll get started with questions for Coach. We'll start with David.
Hey, Coach. David Yapkowitz here. You've talked a lot about this season being a build, and I feel like, in seasons like this, we often talk about, player development and how they've grown from beginning of the season to now. But we don't really mention coaches at all. And I'm just curious as to, in what ways do you feel like you may have grown as a coach this year?
Yeah, coaches are sometimes creatures of habit, and what has worked. And obviously, I've had a ton of success in this league. But obviously some of the things that are my comfort zone didn't always match with this personnel and team. So I think you always got to be open-minded. You've always got to be adapting. I thought, how we utilize Rickea when we got her permanently to the 3 was an area that we were just, learning her game. I was just starting to learn Cam and where to put her in position to be successful. 15 games in, we were tweaking and always trying different things with Cam, and we were just starting to feel comfortable when her injury happened. So, it was a year of a little bit out of my comfort zone of not being able to defend certain ways with this team that maybe I did with my Connecticut teams, but finding a way to help them get better at what I thought matched their tendencies and their strengths more. So those things, and then, learning to, learning through the adversity. Again, I love to build. I know that there's speed bumps in the builds, but, this year was filled with adversity of injuries and illnesses, but the losses compiling was something I'm not used to. And so, learning and growing through that adversity and how to come to work the next day was still a positivity and a growth mindset for this team was really important. I had multiple new staff members. I had fun really, educating and teaching them how we wanted to play. In turn, they could turn around and then educate and teach our players. So, again, I've been in a lot of winning locker rooms that weren't near as fun as what this locker room is. And that's not coach speak. That's not an exaggeration. I just really enjoyed this group through even the frustrations and the adversity this year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Vanity.
Matthew here, LA Sparks Weekly. Just, when looking at Rickea, she came in early the year. She was a player you were bringing off the bench to becoming what she was able to do after the All-Star and Olympic break. Just seeing her grow and rise so fast into the player that she is. How was that for you? And what things that are you looking for her on the court that you think that she should specifically attack to really take her game to the next level during the offseason?
Yeah, again, when you look back at training camp, we were playing Rickea more at the 4 than the 3. We were getting her reps at the 3, but mostly 4 because we were going to be without Azare for half the season. Lee was, only beginning her second year, had been out of the league, so we didn't have a lot of post depth. And then 5 games in, or 12 days into the season, Rickea was inserted into that starting lineup. So she was out of that starting lineup for the first 12 days. But by then already the minutes were flipped, and now all of a sudden she was playing mostly 3 with some spot minutes at the 4. And as she grew into the season and we got Azare back and we were playing her totally at the 3 position, you could just see her game take off and become more and more comfortable. Hats off and a credit to how hard she worked behind the scenes in season to continue to improve. A real shout out to my assistant coaches working hard with her in film and trying to teach her some of the things that would help her be successful. But, the league got to see a rising star in this league. She'll end up averaging, just under 30 minutes a game. She's going to end up averaging nearly 13 points a game. So just a really, really special first year out. And again, she's only scratching the surface.
Coach, can you just talk about just your experience this season, coaching these young rookies? And like you said, you guys had a lot of fun in this year, despite the loss. And you said you've been in some winning situations where it wasn't as fun, but this year you have more fun than any of your other years. So can you just talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, again, Cameron is someone that brings a lot of light and joy to our locker room, another young player with a bright future. And unfortunately, she didn't go through some of the growing and learning because of the injury. But, someone that's really a positive person to be around and just, again, another person that has a really high ceiling. Lee is only 25. Ray truly only in her second playing season because that rookie year was injured. Zaya's still really young in this league. So we had a lot of young players and they're just continuing to grow and get better. So excited to watch all their futures. And again, what is underrated is the veterans were in new roles. Derek has had a great career. Azare's had a great career. They've been on championship teams, but they played secondary roles on those teams. Derek has had to move into a go-to player role, and to watch her embrace that and have the year that she had for us, is just a true credit for her taking that challenge on and really accepting a new role that she hasn't been in for most of her career.
Thank
Rita?
Hey, Coach. Just after, the losses this season where you guys, were unable to, get past the finish line, what does it do heading into the offseason to have this moment to build off of?
Yeah, the locker room was incredible. I've been in so many locker rooms in this league that it's just painful when the season ends. I've lost some brutal, game 5s in championship and semifinals, but our locker room, we're going to be one of the few teams that ends the season on a win. I don't know if any of the other non-playoff teams won tonight, but, just it gives us kind of energy going into the off season. The amount of positive talk by players in the locker room after the game, I haven't been a part of in a long time. And so, really, really excited. And, we ask our fan base to continue to be patient as we build, but, we got a special locker room of people, and I think you win with great character, you win with great people, and that locker room is filled with those type of players.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Curt.
Thank you.